Facebook, Twitter. All right, give me a second. All right, good stuff. All right, here we go. Hey guys, anyway, it's my privilege and my honor. Give me a reference. Let me get this phone line. Let me get this line properly set right, guys. That's like if I have any last minute persons who actually has one of the state name where they call it from, please do so at this time.
Melinda Townsend from Florence, South Carolina.
Welcome to the call, Ms. Townsend. Welcome to the call. Welcome.
Yolanda from Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome to the phone call, Yolanda from Atlanta. Who else on the line? Who else we have?
Eileen Galera, California.
Ms. Galera, welcome to the phone call. Welcome to the call. Anybody else?
Brandy, South California.
Welcome from California. Welcome. Who else do we have on the phone line?
Rose Coleman Spring from Massachusetts.
Welcome to the call, Ms. Coleman. Welcome. Anybody else? Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Hold 1 second.
All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6. All callers are muted.
Good. It's my privilege, it's my honor to actually bring to you on the phone line today, guys, the gentleman who's actually going to do tonight's training. I tell people all the time when we have our vision mastery call, and if you're on the phone line right now yourself, if you haven't already had a chance to start the webinar, just got to get that webinar recorded because I want to make sure that each and every person has a chance that they can hear this information. I don't want people to miss out on this information at all. It's just going to be just that important. But anyway, guys, I want to make sure that I actually do proper introductions and do this call some justice, because I want to introduce you guys to a gentleman that I've had the privilege and the honor of knowing for a lot of years. He and I've been building organizations and home-based business and networking, for over 10, 15 years now, when we've been able to coach and mentor a lot of people and travel nationally, travel internationally. We've been able to do some amazing things, working for ourselves, working from home. But more importantly, they say that success is really gauged not by your success, but the type of people and how many people that you can help create success for. They say that success is about self, but significance is about other people. And all of this gentleman has been able to bring up, to earn some significant income for himself. He's been able to help a lot of people, guys, do some amazing things around the world. And I watched the gentleman go on to build teams, not just nationally, but internationally. He's been an icon in the industry and very successful, working alongside multimillionaires and billionaires, bringing concepts to, from the formulation stage out to the marketplace. So let me see if this gentleman actually has a clear line so he can bring some great training. And if you happen to be in front of your computer, I recommend that you go to project100krevolution.com. That's project100krevolution.com. As he starts to share some information with you guys, you not only want to hear the information, but you want to take some copious notes. But listen to this. Take notes with the intention that you're going to teach this information, because what he teaches to you tonight, guys, is going to help you revolutionize your business. I promise you, not just right now, guys, but for years to come. So without further ado, let me bring to you guys Mr. Walter A. Smith IV. Mr. Quattro, can you hear me, sir?
Absolutely, positively, Mr. Scott. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. The phone call is yours. Take it away.
Appreciate you so much, Mr. Scott, and I definitely appreciate that warm introduction. Like you said, we've been together for close to 15 years now, been able to work in this industry. And one of the things that's so incredible about working with a business partner like yourself is we've had the opportunity not only to work side by side, but to learn from each other, to coach and mentor each other. And it's just been incredible what I've been able to learn from you and be able to incorporate in my business. And just to be able to build those organizations across the country. You're an incredible mentor yourself, and appreciate those kind words. And I'm just flat out excited tonight to be on this vision call. And, I'm sitting here, Mr. Scott, thinking about this call tonight, and it just dawned on me for the entire organization that's on the call, this is the first call of 2016. And, when I thought about that, I'm saying, this is really an important time for the entire organization, because this is going to be the first vision call of the year. And one of the things that my mentor taught me, and one of the things that Mr. Scott said, is we've been able to mentor with some incredible mentorship. So I've been able to pick up so many different facets from so many phenomenal leaders. And one of the things that I picked up that stuck with me over the years is how you do anything is how you do everything. And one of the things about 2016 is I was sitting here thinking about the training tonight, and I said, you know what, before we go into this training, because the training is going to be the information. It's going to be what it is. It's going to be something that's going to help you build, explode your business, to duplicate some right activity through your organization. But it's all about the mindset that we create going into this training. See, one of the things that I posted on social media when 2016 hit is that this is the year to make a decision. Yeah, you have to make a decision. This is the first vision call of the year. And I think about a quote that Helen Keller said when Helen Keller was asked, Miss Keller, what are some of the most difficult things about being deaf, about being blind? What are some of the most things that you can say are difficult about that situation? And what she said, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight without no vision. So as we go into 2016, we have to have a different vision than we did in 2015. Albert Einstein said we cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that created them. So what that means is that whatever thinking process, whatever thought process got you to where you are right now, it's going to have to be different in order to make 2016 to different. In order to go to the next level, and more importantly, in order to grow to the next level, we're going to have to do some things different. The first thing we're going to have to do is make a decision that we're willing to do what it takes in order to grow to the next level. So the books that you read in 2015, you're going to have to read more. The people that you talked to in 2015, you're going to have to talk to more. The people you didn't talk to, the people that you didn't go and follow up on. All the things that we did in 2015, we're going to have to do something different in 2016 in order to make it different. You see, going into the information is not what this call is about if you have the same mentality that you had last year. One of the definitions of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting some type of result, a different result at that. We have so many individuals that will go right back to the same routine and expect a different result. But the beautiful thing, you create the right mindset about the beginning of the year, is that it gives people a mentality of a new start. It gives people a mentality of freshness. You see, most people will fail their way through an entire year, and that January 1st gives them a mentality that says, I can start all over again. I can do some things different again. And that is right. And it doesn't take January to do that. But for right now, let's just talk about the fact that we're just getting into 2016. And that mindset is correct, that you can start some different activities, you can create a different mindset, and you can have some different results if you make a decision to not only start that mindset, but continue. We've heard it often said that the definition of commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the mood that you set it in has left you. So long after this call is gone, we have to keep the mindset that we've made a decision to continue on. You see, there's a lot of people. I've been an athlete most of my life. I've been fortunate to be in perfect health, thank God. I've lived in the gym half of my life, and every year I see the same exact thing happen. I see that freshness come along. January 1st, membership in the gym goes through the roof. People I've never seen before in the gym, and I applaud their success. I applaud the fact that they made a decision that they're going to do something different. But you know what most people don't do? They don't make the decision to make the commitment, to continue to do the thing they said they would do long after the mood that they left them in has left them. So what you see is you see people go to the gym, you see people start the workout process, and then by March, by April, those people are gone. They go back to doing the same exact thing that they did the previous year and then starting all over again, but they expect something different to happen. Tonight it's going to be important that you listen. You become a master at. We put together a presentation, so if you're on Project 100K Revolution, you can follow the presentation. I don't follow the presentations. I just go with the divine downloads, and I give the information the best that I can to help you succeed. So it's going to be important that tonight you think differently, that you listen differently, that you take notes differently. All these things are going to be important in order to have a successful 2016, but it starts with you making that decision that this is going to be the year I'm going to do something different. You see, one of the things about network marketing, it's really mastering the mundane. It's mastering some small things and doing those small things consistently over and over and over again. And the beautiful thing about this training tonight, and every night that I do a training, you see, I'm like the quiet storm of the team. You know, I've been traveling. I've been doing so much for my personal business that I haven't been on the phone training as much as I'd like to. You know, you haven't heard my voice as much as I'd like to. But one of the things that I love so much about doing trainings is that as I'm talking to you, although my physical body is here, I'm sitting right next to you listening to this information. I'm talking to myself just as much as I'm talking to you because I'm ready to grow to the next level in my business. You see, it's mastering the mundane, and Jeff Olson really brought light to it in his book, The Slight Edge, when he said that in life, we're either performing simple disciplines or performing simple errors in judgment. And that's the one thing. Once we get to the training, we're good. But it's the mindset to understand that you're either performing simple disciplines or simple errors in judgment. And once we make that decision that we're going to do something different in 2016, we have to stay committed to that vision. We have to stay committed to the process and understand that it's the little things that you do over and over and over again, compounded over a period of time, that will either give you success or give you a lack of that success. Okay? So it's going to be important that right now, collectively as a group, this first vision call of the year, that each and every one of you take that millisecond, take those 3 or 4 seconds, however long it takes you, to just not make this another call, not just another vision call, but the first call of the year, and that you've made a decision today that you're going to do something different, that you've made a decision that you're going to perform simple disciplines and you're going to allow them to compound over a period of time until you finally have the success that you want in this business. I see so many people in this company. They don't have half the leadership that we have. They don't have structured calls and structured vision that we have. But they're just out there. They've made a decision to do the thing, and that's why they have the power. And there's no reason why we can't have more directors, we can't have more EDs, we can't have more ambassadors come out of this team if we collectively mastermind and make the decision that 2016 is going to be my year, not just because I said it's going to be my year, but I've made a decision that I'm going to perform simple disciplines over a period of time, and I'm going to allow them to compound in my business. That's the mindset you need to have going into this training call. So I was speaking with Mr. Scott, and Mr. Scott said, listen, Mr. Smith, what is it you want to train on? Pick something that you think the group could use right now and where you think we need to go in that manner. And there's a training that I've done for years, and I think it's one of the most underutilized trainings that I've never heard. And so many people in this industry, if they can grab hold of this, if they can allow this to move us as an organization into 2016, just mastering and performing this simple discipline, watch how many people you attract to your business. Watch how many individuals you attract to your business. And that little thing is called edification. I want to take some time tonight to speak with the organization about edification and how important edification is to the success of your business. I hope everybody on the phone right now has a notepad in front of them. This is 2016. So if you're used to taking notes with the TV on, turn the TV off. If you're used to not being in a quiet place, get yourself in a quiet place. If you're not used to taking notes, it's imperative that you take notes. You see, the successful people in this industry, they take notes, they study their notes, and more importantly, they implement the things that they've studied. So it's going to be important that you're taking copious notes. As I was putting this training together and just looking at some different ideas, I was literally in my closet taking out boxes of notebooks from individuals over the years that I've just taken notes from. And one of the things that my mentor said that stuck with me over the years He said, Mr. Smith, I'd rather trust a short pencil than a long memory any day. Take notes. I want to give you a definition that I have come up with of edification, and I truly believe that edification is the art and ability of speaking positively about a person, place, or thing. And I'm going to go ahead and say that again. Edification is the art or the ability of speaking positively about a person, a place, or a thing. A team member, person, a place, an event, or a thing, our products. And I'm even going to take it a step further, guys, not just to speak positively, but to promote. And when I say, guys, it's no disrespect to the ladies on the team. It's just something I picked up over the years. I'm saying it in love for the entire organization, that as an organization, we have to learn how to promote one another. And the promotion is more of the manners, the emotions, it's the enthusiasm, it's the sincerity behind the words of the edification. And although we can edify so many different things, we already said a person, place, or thing, I'm going to talk tonight a little bit more about edifying people. Edifying people, elevating a person through the words and or the actions is going to be very important as we go into 2016, that we be the example to the entire company about edification. And one of the things about myself is I'm very big on training and education, but I'm also very big on teaching people the whys. You see, it's one thing to teach people and tell a person to do something, but I truly believe if you tell the person why, they're more prone to do it. Okay? And I want to share with you that the person that masters this art, they do it effectively and, more importantly, consistently, you will have success in your business. Now, one of the things that I want you to understand that's so different than any other business that you've been in, a corporate job, or whatever you've done, is that everything in your business is going to duplicate, whether it's good or it's bad. Everything that you do is going to duplicate in your business, whether it's good or it's bad. And when it comes to the things that we're doing, remember, we're either performing simple disciplines that are going to move you towards your goal, or you're performing simple errors in judgment that are going to take you away from your goal. And edification is something that we're doing 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, regardless if you recognize it or not. Okay? So edifying people is something that we're all going to have to learn how to do. And in this industry, this is a people-to-people business, a people helping people business. And to master this art, one of the things that we're going to have to learn how to do is humble ourselves and learn to promote other people. You see, sometimes we don't want to put ourselves, quote unquote, a little bit lower than someone else. We don't want to have to say things and make a person look bigger than ourselves. And what you don't understand, that little simple error in judgment has hurt your business. It's a humbling thing to get on the phone and to say some kind words about another person. It's humbling to bring out all those person's good points. Because a lot of times in human nature, we want to hear those things about ourselves. So I want you to understand, when you can humble yourself, when you can do it, whatever you give, it shall be given. We have to learn that this process of edification and humbling ourselves to be able to speak powerful words about somebody is incredible. And I'm going to teach you something I was taught years ago about edification that put things into perspective for me. You know, the commercial industry has used edification for years. And what they've done is they've learned to use edification of people, giving people power to build their product. And I want to give you an example of what they call the STAR system. And I want everybody on this phone tonight, I want you to write down Nike Corporation. I'm going to ask you some words about Nike Corporation and show you how they have mastered this over the years to create billions and billions of dollars. And when you think of Nike Corporation, the sneakers, Nike, the athletic wear, I want you to ask yourself, where is Nike's headquarters? Silence. Who is the president of Nike Corporation? What special rubber do they use? What special air system do they use in their sneakers that really make their sneakers top-notch sneakers? Exactly. Most people don't know the answers to those questions, and that's on purpose. Because what Nike does is they build to the star. They build to the Michael Jordans. They build to the Tiger Woods. They give them all the power and allow those individuals to do what? To build their brand. And that's the same thing that we do here when we edify each other in this business. We give a person the power and allow them to help build our business. And one of the things that I want you to understand about edification is part of what we do. Don't allow edification to go to your head when somebody's speaking words about you. You start putting yourself on a different level of thinking about you to other individuals. Part of this business. It's a very effective tool in this business. But one of the things about edification, and I want you to remember this, it should always be like a hot potato. Now, if you think about when Mr. Scott started this call, he edified me. I didn't start going on by talking about all the organizations that I built. I didn't go on to talk about all the people that I mentored under. I didn't talk about the thousands and thousands of individuals that I trained in front of. I didn't do that. I took the hot potato of edification and I gave it right back to Mr. Scott. And people want to be a part of that environment. Whatever gets rewarded gets repeated. So I took that edification, hot potato that Mr. Scott gave me, and I gave it right back to him. That's what I want you to remember, how powerful this can be if you just use it correctly. Okay? When you use edification correctly, it empowers your recipient. Let me tell you something. Edification is a two-way street. When I'm with a new individual and I'm edifying them back, it empowers that person. And don't you understand that most people have never had kind words about them? They've never had empowering words said about them. So that's like music to their ears. It gives them the self-confidence that they need to go on. When you edify your speaker, it builds credibility for that individual. It builds credibility for the opportunity when you use words like business, when you use words like $100 million in sales. That builds credibility. It shows unity in the team. We already expect to go into organizations where people are talking about each other, they're looking at each other crazy, but when you walk into an environment and people are talking positively about each other, where they're uplifting each other, it creates a sense of synergy that people are attracted to. And the people that are not attracted to that, you don't want them in your business anyway. Okay? Build credibility when you start talking about the success of your upline, because people want to know they're in business with people that can help them in this industry. Edification. It creates enthusiasm. And guys, I'm going through the PowerPoint. I'm just trying to pick out some things. Over the years, use this PowerPoint and been able to add some knowledge onto it. Edification is going to allow you to give power to an individual that's going to take that power and give it right back to you. When you're edifying people, you want to do things like you want to be honest. Everything I said about Mr. Scott is true, and you can say kind words about anybody. You know, a lot of, for some reason, you might say, you know what, something about that person I really don't like, because that's what you're focused on. Whatever you focus on will expand. But if you look for the positive, if you talk about the positive, let me tell you something about this young lady. She's a single mother and still made some time to come out here and, take a look at this. That's edification of that person. You can always find something positive to talk about an individual and something that's honest. You don't want to say things like, my sponsor made $1 million last year if you know they didn't. You don't want to blow it out of proportion because people will eventually see through that. Okay? When you start to really, really, really edify, it's going to build confidence in yourself. And I know a lot of times it sounds weird, like how is talking positively, how is uplifting somebody else going to make me feel good? And this is the mindset and the concept that we have to understand, that you have to learn how to humble yourself before people will humble themselves before you. You have to learn how to be a servant leader and understand that as you do to your upline, your organization will do to you. So if it's hard for you to talk great about people, if it's hard for you to edify somebody, it's going to be hard for your organization to do it. But once you start to do it and see the power that it has in your business, it's going to build self-confidence. You know, a lot of times when people come into this industry, they're nervous. They don't know anything about network marketing. They haven't had any success. So when you teach them how to edify, when you teach them how to take everything off of themselves and use the stories of somebody else, that's where the power comes. And I want you to, as you start to learn how to become a master edifier, I want you to also learn how to become a master storyteller. The best form of edification is learn the stories and tell the stories. The facts tell, but the stories sell. You see, all I need to do is tell Mr. Scott's story. All I need to do is tell Miss Eileen Galera's story. All I need to do is tell Mr. Jones's story. There's so many leaders on the phone that in the edification process, all I need to do is tell their story. And as you teach your new individuals about edification and learning the stories, they can take everything off of themselves. They can take the nervousness away because they have the ability to uplift somebody else and take that pressure of them not knowing the industry, of them not having any success yet, off of themselves. Also builds the mindset that there is somebody in my corner. You know, we say it all the time that you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. And when you're out here as a new individual and you're sharing the opportunity, you're sharing the product with somebody else, you know that you have a success story. You have the ability to uplift somebody else that's going to be there in your corner to help you. And there's something called the edification triangle that's so important to understand. Why edification is important. You see, in this industry, we don't just do the things that work. We do the things that work and, more importantly, that duplicate. We do the things duplicate. And there's a lot of individuals who come into this industry and they have a very high level of influence with other people, and they can tell 40 people, get on a call. Those people will get on a call. And when they never teach edification to their team or how to build somebody else, and that new person goes to their peers, and they don't have that same level of influence and tell their peers, hey, get on a call today, and they don't do it, they think the system doesn't work. It worked for one individual, but what it didn't do is it did not duplicate. And when you come to the table and you're speaking with your friends, you're speaking with your family members, you're speaking with coworkers, you bring a high level of trust to the table. Most of your friends are going to trust the fact that you're not going to come to them with something that's going to harm them. You're not going to come to them with an opportunity that's going to discredit them or it's going to do any negativity to them. They're going to trust in that fact. But what they're not going to do is they're not going to respect you as the multimillionaire in the making. They're not going to trust you as the ambassador in the making. They're not going to trust you as that individual that's going to be making thousands of dollars a week in the making. They don't respect that fact right now. In some cases, you probably asked the person for the money to get started, or you just borrowed money from them, or they're a part of your circle and they know where you are financially. So they're not going to respect the fact of you as this multi-millionaire in the making. That's why you need to learn to edify people, and you need to be a master at doing it. You need to learn to take it off yourself and build somebody else. If you're new to network marketing, is edifying your upline, getting people in front of them, and allowing them to help you. That's it. Learn your upline story. Let them help you get new people registered in your business. Become a master at that. You know, one of the things that's so incredible about edification, I've literally been in the presence of 7-figure income earners, individuals that have owned success stories, individuals that have millions of dollars in the bank, individuals that have hundreds of thousands of people in their organization, and as they're talking, they're still edifying their upline. They're still edifying the company. They're still edifying the products because they understand mastering the mundane is doing those simple things over and over and over again and continuing to do those things. Learn to edify your plugged-in upline. Learn to edify the team and the atmosphere that you're a part of and allow that to help you. There's so many different things that you can edify when you're edifying a person. You can say things like they're a great friend, they're very successful, they love having fun, they love to teach other people all over the world, and more importantly, they can show you the details. And you see, there's 4 main factors that people are looking for, and that's the thing to understand when you're edifying somebody, that you're showing them that this person that you're talking about, your plugged-in upline, somebody who's on the call right now, somebody who you see is plugged in, those are the individuals that you want to edify. They can help you. Person is very successful. That, you see, some people are just attracted to the success. Some people are just attracted to how much money you can make. And when you say, hey, this person is a great friend, very successful, that triggers what's important to them. And that's so important to understand. When you're actually edifying, you're trying to edify a point that's important to them. So I always say they're very successful. And everybody has their own level of success, but for the individuals that are success-driven, that are money-driven, that'll hit them right away. I always say this person loves to have fun, because there's some individuals that don't care much about the money. You know, the product, it doesn't really matter, but how can I have some fun? You guys said you're going to New Orleans. Look, you sold me right there. I want in. Okay? So I always say that because I know that there's those individuals that just want to have fun. You see, there's also people that are about helping people. So that's why I always say they love helping people. They love teaching people. You see, when I have a pastor, when I have a person who's, you know, maybe a part of a nonprofit organization, or they give a lot of their volunteer time, they're more concerned about helping people. So I need to make sure there's something in there that really pinpoints right to them. So I always use that point of helping other people. And then I always use can show you all the details. Because there's some individuals that don't really care about the money. Helping other people might not be a priority. You know, having fun might not be a priority, but they're just detail-oriented. They need to know all of the different ingredients in the tea. They need to know aspect about the comp plan. They just need to know all the information before they can make a decision. So when I'm edifying somebody, I'm always using these 4 points because they're always going to pinpoint one of the 4 personality types. I hope you're taking copious notes. I hope you're taking notes. Multi-millionaires do these things. And a lot of times you do them too, you just didn't know why. Let's talk about some of the different actions that we can do that show edification. That's so important. Because when you have new people that come into your business, they're watching not just your words. People don't do what you say, they do what you do. When you're working with your upline and you're trying to qualify for their time, there are certain things that you can do that can edify their time, that can edify the fact that you appreciate them traveling out of town to work with you, or being on the phone with you for an extra time pouring into you. Being on time when you're at meetings, which means arriving early. There should never, ever be a time where in your marketplace there's a meeting that starts at 7 o'clock and you roll in the room at 6:50. Never. You should always be there early. That edifies us. There's so many times where I'm on the phone, Mr. Scott and I are talking back and forth, and he's setting up a meeting that he's doing. And he's usually there an hour early to set up the meeting because he understands that edifies the process. That the people that are watching him, the people that are working with him, they're watching his actions, and that edifies the respect of the process. Taking notes when you're at a meeting. There's nothing like telling your prospect that the deal is coming. This young lady, this man, you have to be there. And as that person's talking, you're not writing down anything they're saying. Your people are going to do what you do. Taking notes, paying attention. Those are actions of edification. Attending the meetings in business casual attire. Coming like you're dressed for success. That's edification of the system. Volunteering, that's a form of edification. Coming to the meeting. You should never have your speaker there setting up the meeting by themselves. Come in, volunteer. Hey, can I help move some tables? Hey, can I help set something up? Even offer to do the presentation. If you've never done 6 presentations in a day or traveled across the country, done so many conference calls you can barely speak, it's refreshing when somebody says, hey, can I help with the presentation? Can I do part of it? You can relax, maybe bring you in at the end. That's a form of edification. Rallying behind each other is a form of education. You see, your success is my success. My success is your success. So we have to rally behind each other. You know, when we're posting things on Facebook, we should all be rallying behind each other. We should all be having positive quotes behind everything that everyone says. After this call, we should make sure that we're flooding Facebook with positive comments about this call. Not because Walter A. Smith IV did the call, because that edifies the process. When people see that there's this buzz going on, people are talking highly about each other, they want in. They want to know what's going on. Returning your upline's phone call is a form of edification. See what happens so many times when we join this industry, we have a level of expectation. It's our job to make us successful. It's our upline's job to take their personal time out to call me and make sure that I'm successful, and it's just the opposite. When your upline calls you, they see something in you. They are working towards helping you become successful. They're taking their personal time, which they don't have to do. They choose to do, and not returning your upline's phone call is a no-no. A form of edification is returning that phone call. If your upline's calling you more than you're calling them, you got a serious problem in your business. And keeping your words by doing what you said you were going to do is a form of edification. Let me tell you this. Effectiveness to properly edify your sponsor is directly linked to how effective or how far they can help you. And I'm going to say that one more time. Might be a little different. I'm going to say it again. Your effectiveness to properly edify your sponsor is a direct link on how effectively or how far they can help you. You have to be a master at it. It has to be sincere. The emotions, the words, the diction has to be on point because it gives your sponsor, it gives your upline, it gives the person that you're edifying power. And that hot potato power that they have, they're going to give it right back to you. And there's nothing like watching effective edification taking place. You brought your guest to a meeting. One of your friends has known you for 20 years. He knows you maybe by a nickname, might just come out to support you. And here's this person that you just built up. And that person turns right back around and gives you the edification. You see, if you get on the phone and say, hey, this is Joe, or hey, I want you to introduce you to my boy, that's no power. And they can't effectively give it back to you. So edification is going to be key in this business. And just as edification is, we have to talk about de-edification. You see, again, you can become a master at edification. You can take time to do exactly what we taught in edification, turn right back around and de-edify and destroy your business. And I'm going to tell you like this, and I want you to write it down like this. De-edification is a cancer in your business. It's the worst cancer that I've watched destroy mega organizations because they didn't understand that they were de-edifying. They didn't understand how lethal de-edification was. And because no one took the time to taught them, no one took the time to teach them what they didn't want to do, it just ran rapid throughout organizations. So we're going to take a little bit of time. We're going to talk about de-edification, okay? We're going to talk about what can destroy your organization just as quick as you built it, okay? Arriving late is a form of de-edification, guys. We just have to learn how to just, be on time. There's nothing worse than being in front of a room and you're flowing. You're flowing. You know, your team and the people that you're working with have worked hard to get guests there. Some of those guests, they might have been trying to get out there for, 6, 7 weeks, maybe a couple of months, and they finally came to the meeting. And then here it is, halfway through the presentation, you step in the room, and as your presenter is flowing, you break their concentration because you came into the room late. That's a form of de-edification, not only to the speaker, but for the people that got there on time. Arriving late to the meetings, like we said, is a no-no. Not taking notes at a presentation is de-edification to your speaker or to the person that's training. And family, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten phone calls from people on the team. They ask me questions that I just trained on. They've asked, people that I work with know that if you call me and you ask me something I trained on, you better call somebody else and get the information. And I'm not doing that as a form of being nasty. I'm not doing it as a form to make you bitter. It's to make you better. We have to always be in the mindset of taking notes. Why do I know this information? Why can I take countless notes? I always take notes. It doesn't matter who's in the room. Somebody can drop a nugget. Somebody can drop something that I can build upon. I'm always taking notes. And I'm not doing it on my iPad. It's pen to paper. Because pen to paper is going to duplicate. The new person that just scraped up enough money to come into the business and barely could get get one of the smaller packages, doesn't have money for an iPad. They might not have money for all these things. And if they don't see me taking notes, they're going to think that they need an iPad too. So we're talking about old school pen to paper, always taking notes. De-edification, interrupting your upline when they're speaking. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you this. When I said that I've literally worked in organizations of thousands of individuals, what it meant is that the majority of the training that would be done, the majority of the coaching that will be done on because you can actually get to and you can affect the masses of individuals. But then you also had your mastermind group. You had your focus groups that you would work with. These were individuals that showed the potential and that they're out here doing the business that you want to give a little bit more one-on-one coaching. Okay? And there'll be times where, and I want you to ask yourself this question as I'm saying this. When you qualify for your sponsor or your plugged-in upline's time, and let's just say, for instance, I had 15 minutes to speak with you. If I had 15 minutes to speak with you, that means I can only talk to 4 people in an hour. In 1 hour, I can only talk to 4 people if I gave everybody 15 minutes. And what I want to ask you is, as your upline is talking to you, who's doing the majority of the talking? You see, if your upline is doing the talking, that's called a coaching session. If you're doing the majority of the talking, that's called de-edification, guys. When your upline gets on the phone with you, it should be pen to paper. It should you know how many times I've been on the phone with Mr. Portis and he says, "Hey, Mr. Smith," he said, how's your business going? He'd ask me a couple of questions, and I get right to the point. I know his time is slim. I get right to the point. Saw me in an event. We made a connection. He gave me his phone number, so when I call him, I make sure I get right to the point. I answer his questions. And if he has 20 minutes on the phone with me, he's talking 19.9 of those minutes. I understand that the best form of edification that I can give this gentleman for taking his time out is to be quiet and take notes. And we laugh about how many times we've been on the phone and he didn't even think I was still there. I was on mute. I don't have anything to say. You're a multi-million-dollar income earner in this industry. I'm taking notes. So you have to ask yourself, my coach, who's doing the majority of the talking? And I'm either edifying that coaching session or I'm de-edifying that coaching session. Leading leadership trainings and training calls. Those are forms of de-edification. A lot of times we talk about the success that we want to have in this industry. Well, I only miss 4 calls. That's just you're performing a simple errand. And it's not the one call you miss, but it's compounded over a different time, over an extended period of time. And a lot of times it is that one call because your new person's waiting to hear your voice, not returning your upline's calls. We talked about that. I just went through and sent out a text message to a lot of people in the group, and I said, listen, the days of Walter A. Smith IV, chasing people down, not getting return phone calls is not happening. If you're still plugged in, respond to this call. Again, this is done with the intention of love. It's not to make you bitter. It's to only make you better. But if you want to stay in my blast system, if you want to continue to get calls from me, I need you to respond. And the ones that did, hello. The ones that didn't, hey, I'll see you when I see you. Because I understand the importance of the edification process. Talking on your phone or texting during presentations, oh my goodness, that's de-edification. And you see, a lot of times no one taught us, no one told us, so we just didn't know. You see, people fail in this industry for one of two reasons. They were either told what to do and they never did it, or they were never told what to do. And one of the things that I love so much when myself and Mr. Scott started our training organization, we said we'll never give people the opportunity to make the excuse that they did not know. I want to make sure that everybody on this phone also watch your body language. When somebody comes in the room, we don't have to like everybody, but we can respect everybody. Watch your body language. Watch stuff that you make. Watch the rolling of the eyes. Watch the looking away. That stuff is forms of de-edification. And I'm telling you from years and years, over 20 years of experience, whatever you do unto your upline, your organization will do to you. It's time that we take this training and we put the action behind it. That we just go to the next level by learning the power that edification can do, not only for our business, but more importantly for our upline, for this company, for our president and CEO. If we're going to go to a $500 million organization, we're going to have to be doing more edification, more uplifting, more positive mindset and talking than we've ever done before. So what I want to do is I want to open up the call tonight because I know we're right there at that 10 o'clock hour. I want to open up the back lines for any questions, any comments that any of the leaders might have this time. Let's go ahead and open up the back line. Everybody want to jump out there, please do so.
Mr. Walter A. Smith IV, can you hear me, sir?
Really positively, sir. Take it away.
Sir, super fantastic, incredible. Listen, I'm so happy and grateful now to be in the presence, to be in the whole environment, to be connected to you because, I've been listening to you do edification. We all have different trainings that we all know the same information, but sometimes when certain people do certain trainings, it just becomes life transforming, and that's when you and I we were consulting and talking about different things, and we were talking about edification. I'm like, man, nobody does edification training the way you do the edification training. Nobody does de-edification training the way you do de-edification training. Actually, if people really understood that, if people really understood that this whole process of the edification is simply a form of talking highly about people, and people put themselves in a state of mind that this becomes just a habitual thing. When we make it a habitual, we have a habitual vision of greatness for each other, a habitual vision of greatness for other people. When we start to talk, we start to change the environment that we're in because of the edification process, and we buy wholeheartedly into it. And when we start this whole environment that when people come to, man, they can feel that the whole energy is lighter. The atmosphere is lighter. It's a realness. It's a sincerity. All the things that come from true edification. And you did a great job just sharing that with the people. This is going to actually be on the Team NGD. So anybody who happens to miss this presentation or this information, they can go on to Team NGD. That's New Global Dynasty, teamngd.com, and it's going to be one of the archive audios that we're going to have there, because I'm going to be sending people to it all the time. Part of their initial training, when they come on board, their 4 steps and their game plan interview, I'm like, listen, make sure you listen to that edification training. If I have people that's going through this process and I'm recognizing that they're having a challenge, they're having a challenge in getting people in front of the information and closing people out, I'm going to say, go to the edification training done by Mr. Walter A. Smith IV. Listen, guys, make sure you find him on social media. If you're not a friend of Walter A. Smith IV, it's Walter A. Smith IV. If you're not But then find him on social media. Stay connected to him. Trust me, guys. This gentleman is a master at what he does in this process. So I appreciate you, Mr. Smith, for all that you do in the organization. Make sure, like you said, guys, we blow up all the time. We blow the social media and the platform up. You let people know that great things are happening. You let people know that this is a safe environment. This is an environment for all people, for no matter what the teams, no matter what the organization. This is a safe environment that people can come and they can be edified in this whole process. So I appreciate you, Mr. Walter A. Smith, the fourth Quattro, and I turn the phone call back over to you.
Appreciate you so much, Mr. Scott. I appreciate those kind words and just for getting out there and just edifying the entire process. One of the things I love so much about being, partnered with you, sir, is that we just complement each other so well, and just like you said, we have the same mindset. We sat under the same mentors for so many years, and it's just so flattering and, just an incredible job just edifying to say, listen, there's certain things that I need you to train on because you just do it well. And for you to be able to say that back just shows that this edification is not just a training, it's something that we actually live. Appreciate you so much. Anybody else want to jump out there before we close the call tonight? Not sure.
Give me 1 second. Let me unmute the phone line. Give me 1 second, sir.
Yes.
All callers are unmuted. All callers are muted and may unmute themselves by pressing *6.
Hey guys, this is a chance. Make sure any person, any team, anywhere, TLC, non-TLC, if you got value from this information and you want to edify this whole process, this is your time to press *6 on your phone. We're going to take a few people. Press *6. Mr. Smith, back over to you.
Appreciate you. I just want to jump out there before we close the call this evening.
Mr. Smith, this is Andrea Harden.
Miss Harden, yes, ma'am. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year to everyone. But I just want to tell you that this was an A1 lesson on tonight, just reminding us that edification is just not an introduction, but it's through words and through actions and the way we talk and the way we walk and the way we just, simply put our mentor and our sponsor up there, how we, just how we do everything. So it was broken down to the simplest form, just attending meetings on time and, the way you dress and the way you do things and the nice things you say, the positive things, everything put in one, but it was so simple that we yet forget that it's not just an introduction. So definitely want to go ahead and congratulate you on an excellent call on tonight. Thank you so much for that you do for the team, and I'll turn the call back over to you, sir.
Appreciate you so much, man. I appreciate all that you do for the entire organization and just for being an example of every single call you're on to every single night, edifying the process, just doing what leaders do, and I appreciate you so much, ma'am. Anybody else want to jump out there before we close the call?
Mr. Smith, this is Eileen. Can you hear me?
Miss Eileen, go ahead and take it away, ma'am.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that, when I heard that you're doing the training tonight, oh my God, I better be on this training because I know how powerful it is, the training each time you train as well. So thank you for what you do serving the big team, and also appreciate Mr. Scott as well, truly always. And as you guys know me, I'm really big on edification. That's because I learned so many great things from both of you, since day one that we started working together back in, 2010. So it's incredible how truly is crucial to the success of our business, the growth of our business, when using the edification properly. And one thing that I love doing about it is really, serving the team. And I can tell you one real quick story is that when I found out that our coach Stormy Wellington was coming to my hometown, I said, I'm going to take this chance to serve. So I called her and I asked her, can I take the opportunity to come out and pick you up from the airport? And she said, yes, sure. So I did, and I was there with, bottled water. So this is another great thing to remember, too, is that when you have your leaders coming to your area, they're coming out, they're spending their time, their resources, their money. So you want to make sure that you take care of them at least, bring them a bottle of water or ask them if they need something. And that is also a form of edification, and I just love doing that. So I turn the call back to you, Mr. Smith. And thank you so much for an incredible call tonight.
Absolutely, ma'am. I appreciate you so much, and you're 100% correct. That was an example of edification through actions, and it's just been a pleasure working with you. And one of the things I love about you so much is that you do so much behind the scenes. You're edifying the process so much without even getting the recognition for it. So I want to publicly say thank you for all that you do for the entire organization and for being a master of the system. We're going to take one more person before we close the call. Anybody else want to jump out there tonight? Guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close the call tonight. It's been my pleasure to be on the call with each and every one of you, and I hope that you receive some value out of the call tonight. You know, one of the things that I truly, truly believe, and I've said this quote for years, is by Booker T. Washington, that there's two ways of exerting one's strength. One is pushing down, the other is pulling up. And here on Team New Global Dynasty, it doesn't matter what team you're on, it doesn't matter where you're from, we always, always, always are pulling people up. I appreciate each and every one of you. An incredible, incredible night. Take care, take charge. More importantly, God bless each and every one of you. Have a great evening.
Thanks for a great call.
Great call, great call.
Woo!
Happy New Year, everyone. Come on, let's go. Your miracles.
Happy New Year. Woo!